Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the DeFi Hour. I'm joined by DeSnake and Yellow Lizzard of Cetra Finance. Cetra is a delta neutral strategy for leverage yield farming, and today we're going to talk about it. So jumping right in here, tell me a little bit about yourselves. And I think there's one more co-founder. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we have three co-founders. I'm a CEO of Yellow Lizzard. So also DeSnake here, he is our CPO. He is responsible for all the strategies and finance. Of course, we have a third founder. He isn't with us right now, but he's our CTO. He works in Everstake and Friction as a Rust engineer.
Yeah. Where did you guys all meet?
Yeah, sure. First we have met with the Frog, our CTO, on one of the Solana's hackathons. It was, for example, maybe 8 months ago. So we have just a small talk, and after that decided to build some small projects. So we'll have built something like a stake as a service for NFT collections, P2P swaps, and so just small dApps, participating in hackathons, and we have decided that we want to build something more bigger, but we have understood that we need someone from the DeFi, from the financial, some this guy, course, with a good math background. Yeah, and we have decided to find someone, and after that found DeSnake. Yeah, he's working in the investment bank. Yeah, and have a lot of experience in DeFi. So actually, it's quite interesting story because I found his work about the UniV3 positions. I've just texted him like in Telegram, say hello, cool work, let's chat, and yeah, we have decided to build the Cetra on the summer camp.
Very cool. And DeSnake, tell me a little bit about Cetra. Where did you come up? Or was it your idea, or how did you guys think of Cetra initially?
For me, the idea was somewhere on the surface, somewhere very near to me, because delta neutral farming and leveraged yield farming is really useful things for institutionals. As from my experience, the most part of portfolio fund where I work consists of delta neutral farming. There are not so much projects that are made on chain that implement delta neutral farming. It was a big question for me for a long time. Why there are no such projects? It's quite easy to understand for DeFi Degen. It's only delta. Yeah, there are no any more Greeks, more complicated. There is only borrowing and farming in delta neutral yield farming. So it's very easy, but a lot of institutionals use it.
So coming from a TradFi background, you're seeing a lot of delta neutral strategies being used and real investors with real assets deploying capital into these CeFi institutions that are executing strategies that could be replicated on chain, but haven't been yet. So why do you think nobody has attacked the delta neutral farming strategies in the DeFi space yet?
You can say.
There are some examples. We could see, for example, Alpaca Finance made the thing nearly exactly the thing what we make, but there are obviously differences like the chains, APY, and the DEXs that they integrate. And in my experience, it's really important to find a good DEX, a good pair, because a lot of money is earned from incentives, and incentive programs tend to end some time. So for such a big protocol as Alpaca, maybe it's hard to integrate a lot of DEXs. So they choose the real big ones in which APRs are small, and that can be their weak place.
For example, we are using the Fransom as a DeFi users for ourselves. So we use Fransom, we use Tulip, and we have this problem that we want to create delta neutral. We should do this manually. It's quite hard, and also we want to have to rebalance it because price changes every day. So and the monitor these prices every day is quite hard. And that's why we need this solution for ourselves first. And after that, we decided to do Cetra.
So for the people listening that maybe don't understand what Cetra does, can you give us a high level explanation of these chambers and the strategy that you're actually deploying?
The first chamber is a pseudo delta neutral position manager on top of leverage steel farming protocols like Tulip, Fransom, Alpaca, Alpha Homora, and so on. The main idea is that it is delta neutral. There are some ways to create delta neutral position. As a TradFi investor, you can hedge it on CEX using perpetual futures, for example. You can also borrow some risky asset on Aave and then farm it. Leverage yield farming protocols is just another way to create a delta neutral position because they have borrowing and farming built in one product. I think that listeners should know what is short, what is long, and that borrowing is a short exposure, holding asset is long exposure. What, for example, Tulip does, it borrows an asset and deposits it into the farming pool. So we can think of asset in farming pool as a long part of exposure and borrowed asset on Tulip as a short part of exposure, and together they give us zero exposure.
So you've hedged away the delta. Is it fair to assume that in any given vault, you've got two assets that you're working with and you're both borrowing and lending at any given time to create the delta neutral strategy?
Yep. To create delta neutral strategy, you should borrow 3/4 of risky asset and 1/4 of your notional, and that's delta neutral position. It's very simple, but the core thing here is automatic management and rebalancing.
Yeah, chamber is just a vault that manage your position in the Tulip, Fransom. You manage it, automatically rebalance it. So in simple way, yeah, it's just a vault that manage your money. You should just only deposit. You don't need to, set up the leverage, set up the when you should close this position. You should just 2 clicks, just like find the pool that you want to deposit and deposit in there. So that's all.
Okay, and are deposits in any specific token, or like always USDC or something like that, always Solana tokens, or does it change from vault to vault?
Now we are thinking only about USDC notion strategies, but maybe for someone it will be interesting to have something like boosted staking, earning ETHs in Solana. It's very easy to add, so we can do this.
For the first product, it will be several pools, and you can deposit in the coins of these pools. But we will add more pools and strategies. So
delta is a market movement of a position. If you go up or down, you either lose or make money. So you've hedged that away completely. What other risks exist? Obviously, you can't get a return without a risk. So now that the delta is hedged away, what risks are people taking when they're depositing into the smart contract?
we can't get rid of smart contract risk. Obviously, we are just multiplying it, building on top of Tulip, because user takes not only risk of Tulip, but our smart contracts risk too. We hope that it can be eliminated by audits and maybe white hat hackers.
Who has audited the smart contracts so far?
So far, only our CTO builds
Yeah,
contracts.
yeah.
And
Right now we have not decided the audit company, but because we are now in the building MVP stage right now, so after we are in the test stage, after the successful our tests, we are deciding to audit this contract by another company.
Okay, so maybe if you're an audit company watching this podcast, you can get in contact with these guys. They'd be happy
We
to chat.
have already contacted with some of them. They're just waiting for our test.
The big risk is, but the big risk that can be managed by users also is the utilization risk. It's interest rate risk. On Tulip and Francium, the vault's capacity is not so big. So if someone wants to borrow $1 million, it can make vault ineffective. We hope that the balance of farming APRs and borrowing APRs will be balanced, because we talk about leverage yield farming. People borrow there only to farm.
So you're saying if you try to borrow too much on a platform like this, maybe the interest rate becomes so expensive that it erases any yield that you would be generating. Is that what you mean by interest rate risk? Somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
actually, this is a problem of the market right now, because DeFi, it's not quite a lot of capital in there, and also in the Solana. For example, with Ethereum, Solana have much less capital in the DeFi protocol, so it's quite a problem. But this is a problem for whales, but if you want to deposit like not a big amount of money, it's not a big problem for you.
Is this a feature that could, or a problem that could be done away with if you were using a centralized market maker with a lot more liquidity?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be solved by that, but honestly, as one of our key features is that we aim to make the fully permissionless, decentralized, transparent protocol. We see that there are many problems on Solana with transparency and good SDKs and reading transactions and interacting with protocols. So it's our dream to make Solana protocols better, more transparent.
Yeah. Also, we have some problem that a lot of institutions also don't really rely on the protocols that use centralized exchanges, because they don't know what they are doing with their money under the protocol. So, and fully decentralized protocols, they're much more trusted by institutions. So, in our experience.
In one of the bankruptcy proceedings, I think it might have been Celsius, when they were trying to find out how much money was left to divide amongst creditors, it came out that 100% of DeFi loans were repaid in full, and many institutions did not get any full repayment.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm talking about.
DeFi is a really powerful tool. Really excited to see it blossoming. Tell me a little bit more about Vega and Gamma before we move on from the risk section.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started talking about market risks, and delta hedge don't protect you fully from market movement. Maybe a risk called Gamma is known better for users as impairment loss. It's just a feature of decentralized AMMs that bonding curves are convex. So when you deposit as a liquidity provider, you are short gamma, and impairment loss can make all your investments unprofitable. And for now, we are not trying to protect someone from impairment loss. We will some analytical service will be our other feature. We can talk about it further. But yeah, we have some thoughts about how gamma can be neutralized by hedging with options, but for now we don't see enough liquidity for instant hedging to open and close position. And as we want to make everything decentralized, we can't rely on order book option indexes, because they're just can lack of liquidity in the moment of open position. And Vega is a risk that's quite similar to gamma, talking about liquidity providing, and on some models we can say that they are just the exact thing, but I think it's just too complicated to say that our protocol will work with Vega in stage of MVP, and it's a story about options, I think.
So help me understand, when you're rebalancing the vaults, what are the thresholds? At what point does that trigger a rebalance? Is a rebalance automated? Do rebalances happen across all accounts at the same time, or is it specific to a specific deposit? And what is that accounting for? What risk is that accounting for?
Sure.
Rebalance triggers for all accounts, because we're talking about the single vault. The vault is rebalanced, and users' funds are in that vault. For now, threshold is based on delta. When the delta of position reaches some threshold, we rebalance the gauge. Yeah, we are trying to do this fully decentralized, permissionless also. So maybe the rebalancer will get some fee for rebalancing the whole vault. And the risks of the rebalancing is that when you rebalance, you effectively fix your impairment loss. The impairment loss becomes permanent. So hedging in inappropriate time may make even worse than not hedging at all. We are calculating rehedge parameters using our backtester tool. We also want to make the backtester interface open for all users, for everyone to understand in what markets their position will earn, in what markets they maybe should even leave farming in our protocol. So yeah, we want to help people managing gamma and maybe Vega using some analytical tools.
Sorry to interrupt. If
Yeah.
if a market is volatile, so we'll say that, you know, the price of Solana spikes and then a rebalance happens at this point. At that point, you've locked in an impermanent loss. And then the price rapidly declines and a rebalance occurs again. You've locked in another impermanent. It is now a permanent loss. So you're saying if the market is moving quickly, then it might eat away a lot of the profits of the delta neutral strategy. You might want to consider a different type of strategy and then maybe switch back. So Cetra is ideal in times of limited market action, lack of volatility.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. I think it's super important for users to know the time and place when to use a strategy. It's like a tool in the tool belt, right? You don't want to pull out a hammer when you need a screwdriver.
Yeah, so that's why we want to open our backtester tool, so any user can just test his strategy, his vault in any kind of market, and he can understand should he just deposit right now or he should wait. So it's very important because, you know, some protocols may have minus yield APRs, and that's okay. User just stay in there. Sometimes it's okay, but we think that it's more honest to provide all the information, and user can choose to stay with us or to go and withdraw all his deposits.
Yeah, ideally we want to give the instruments like in a TradeFi funds. Yeah, working in fund at every moment we think, do we want to enter the position? Do we want to exit it? And I think user should. I think we should give the user information which is sufficient to make this decision.
Very cool. Agreed. Okay, and let's end on where's the future of Cetra going? What is next? What kind of strategies do you see? And when do you expect to launch for the first time? All that exciting stuff.
So sure. Actually, we are planning to finish our MVP in the November and to launch in the November or December. So our first strategy, will be delta neutral strategy. Right now, we are developing other strategies. And we are looking for it and thinking about the options, options hedging for the DEX, as we have said. But we are going to add strategies that people want, like auto rebalancing, delta neutrals, that provide more comfortable for using other protocols, like Tulip, etc., and that no one have done yet. So this is will be our first part of our protocol. So it's like a simple, cool strategies that people want, and they are very easy to use. Also, we are thinking a lot about our second part. It's more like difficult strategies and more like structured products. We can't right now say about it, but yeah, it will be more complex and it will be such like a structured products, etc.
Yeah, we are researching options market a lot because I think it's the a very big market of DeFi in the near future. So ideally, we want to make something with options, and another simple strategy that can be implemented after leverage yield farming is just borrowing on, for example, if we talk about Solana, it's borrowing on Solend and farming on somewhere else. It's the delta neutral strategy 2 that we can auto rebalance as our leveraged farming strategy. Maybe it will be less risky. Some of users will prefer it during shaking markets.
Well, you guys, very exciting stuff. Thank you for giving us the rundown on all things Cetra. We look forward to seeing this product launch and see what else you guys have in store as the markets evolve.
Thank you for inviting.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, take care.